Our witch-finding tour, which traces the roots of this dark episode of English history, begins here in Mistley and Manningtree. We are standing outside the Thorn Inn, which at one time belonged to Matthew Hopkins, the self-appointed Witchfinder General. But let me take you back to 1620, which is the year of his birth. It was the time of the Puritans, who believed that obedience to God's law and devotion to Christ was how life should be lived. But there was much folklore and storytelling. Cunning people were sought out for their perceived wisdom. Some of them claimed powers of divination. Some claimed healing powers or were herbalists. Some were sorcerers and trod a fine line between acceptability and witchcraft. There was also much gossip about evil witches who were believed to cause catastrophe and death. Matthew Hopkins was born at Great Wenham, the youngest of 4 sons. Matthew was swaddled for his first few weeks, and his nails may have been bitten off and buried or burned, as they were considered as raw materials for witches. As Matthew Hopkins grew up, his education was constantly grounded by his father's godly zeal, which no doubt had a great influence on his son's life and beliefs. In his early 20s, it is thought that Hopkins worked as a shipping clerk, then for a lawyer. However, the world was changing around him. The King, Charles I, insisted that Protestantism should become less austere, which made the Puritans fearful that the devil would then become more powerful. The weak would succumb to sin and wickedness. Madness and perversion such as witchcraft would prevail. This was feared even more now that the Civil War had begun. As I said, there was much storytelling. Storytelling became gossip, gossip became truth, and that truth became another kind of weapon against those who were considered unnatural and encouraged by the devil's ways. In 1642, Hopkins had come into his inheritance and purchased the original Thorn Inn. For the next 2 years, we presume he just ran his business. Imagine how it might have been back in 1644, when whispering about witchcraft was rife. Inns such as the Thorn were places where Hopkins could learn a great deal from local gossip.
The king encourages idolatry and sorcery. His ideas that ceremonies be given in church and
ornaments can now be in church. It's the devil himself talking. The war will sort him.
Hey, Riddle Bird's looking for a new man. I'll see to that then, Tom.
Has she got a dairy?
I do not know about that, but she has got the start of a dairy business.
He was telling me about how she's missing the security of a man, a mature man.
Did she now?
She did say she had no time for boys of no experience. She's still a young woman, Tom.
Get on with you, she don't want the likes of me.
Well, your hair's against you. Or isn't, more to the point.
Hey, stop it!
Gentlemen, this is not a bawdy house.
It's not a church neither.
Preacher, he do say that the witch exchanges a covenant with Christ.
I pay no heed to that family. They're a strange lot, so it be said.
There he be now. Cut off his toes to escape the war. Now you be listening to this. They say his mother took potion.
A pox on her and her kind. Since she and my wife had words, my cattle have all come down with a disease.
You need that cunning woman, good wife Povey. She can reverse witchery.
Yeah.
Take some hair and piss on a cow and let her boil away the disease.
How is it with you, Matthew?
I am disturbed by events. These people are fearful of this war. But they know they may look to people such as us to save their souls.
And West be a witch. There's no mistaking word. Thomas Hart's sow lies dead because of her ways.
And I did hear that John Cutler let it be known she caused the death of his son.
The magistrates let her off. Mark me, she's in league with the devil. We need to get rid of her and her like.
Will you be at the fair? It will soon be upon us.
Aye, there is much to be heard and seen at such events, as there is here. My ears burn with gossip.
Despite the acute poverty of the time, annual fairs were still held, much to the disgust of the strict Puritans.
forth till he consults these papers.
Whilst they would be considered fairly tame today, they were a chance for people to travel from one village to the next to exchange gossip.
What will you? A potion to cure all ill.
Fresh grain. Come and get your grain.
A draught to cure male weakness.
Come
I
on,
have
ladies.
it all here
Get
from
your
the east. Spent to the west. Excellent.
Some pastimes still cost nothing.
Tales that lie ahead.
Cunning people led a dangerous life. They might be astrologers.
Tales that tell us to come, sir. I can tell you that the Shy Reeve himself will not step forth until he consults these very
Some were
papers.
certainly charlatans, and Hopkins included a number of these in his witch hunt.
Boil my chickens, boil my eggs, finest chickens, finest eggs aside a matting tree.
But for the minister of Lawford, John Eads, and the tailor, John Rivet, their visit to Missley was for a far more serious purpose. They knew that the county magistrates were in town to hear complaints.
I do not understand why your parish allows such an ungodly gathering, John.
Harmless enough, Master Reed. God knows there's little enough cheer for them in these warlike times. Well, I despair at my present troubles. I also feel for these poor wretches of women that are now turned out of their homes.
The parish provides for the poor now, John.
Not always the case, and you know it. The parish cannot pay for everyone, and so looks for ways to reduce its obligations.
Now, John, we're not here to quarrel. The good Lord knows you have much on your mind. We are before our time with their worships. Let us take some refreshment.
Come to see my soul rector?
It may take more than my help, man.
I'm sorry, sir, he means nothing. And what is your wish?
Wine for me and...
Ale, if you please.
Great minds, John Rivet. I thought I might just loosen the dust in my throat. I don't know your friend.
John, this is the rector of Lawford, Master Eads. Sir, this is Matthew Hopkins, the landlord and a godly man. And you may recall me mentioning to you the good service that Master Stearne did for me when we visited the witch.
I do so recall it. You are indeed a good man, Master Stearne. There are not many men that would confront a witch.
We felt that we would have the strength of the Lord in our task, sir.
As I am sure you did.
I confess, the next meeting fills me with more fear than the witch. I've had nothing to do with the law, and I know they will take me for a fool.
You need fear nothing, John. You are to see Sir Harbottle Grimston, are you not?
Yes, and Sir Thomas Bowes. I've had nothing to do with the law. I know not in what form to make my complaint. Master Eads has heard of my matters and has something to say that may help my cause, but...
Is this the matter you spoke of, the woman you accused?
It is, Matthew. John, I know Sir Harbottle Grimston. He has seen much of life. He hates witches with a vengeance, and will hear you fairly.
Why do you not go with these gentlemen to present the case? You were there as well. You know the magistrate.
I would take it as a great kindness, John.
Very well. So it shall be.
May I accompany you? I should like to bear witness, and if I may assist in ridding the world of at least one piece of evil, then I shall consider my time here well spent.
I hear that you have been busy, Master Stearne.
It is more that a great charge has been put upon me. I fear that unless some action is taken, that we will be overrun by evil.
We have been living in turbulent times for some years now, John. I hope you have something more definite to say to me than that. Will you introduce your friends? You know Sir Thomas Bowes, I think.
With pleasure, sir. We are all godly men, none more so than our minister from Lawford, Mr. John Eads, Mr. John Rivet, tailor, and Mr. Matthew Hopkins. We wish to lay a complaint before you, gentlemen, regarding witchcraft.
I hope you are sure of your facts, Master Stearne. We have wasted much time in the last year bringing prosecutions, only to have the wretches acquitted due to stupidity and bad evidence.
Sirs, I entreat you to listen to Master Rivet. His testimony is beyond doubt. He has dreadful news concerning Master Edwards from Mistley.
Richard Edwards, the constable?
That's right, sir. We're convinced he's been attacked by a known witch. Last year, 2 of his cattle died as they walked past her house. And what is worse, he has now lost his newborn son. The child was put out to nurse near where the witch lives. The child suffered fits and rolled its eyes, and died a few days later.
This is all very well, Master Rivet, but I fail to see your concern in this.
My wife has been struck down and grows steadily worse. She is also lame and most times knows not where she is. She too is bewitched.
I do sympathise with you, but you must understand this is not enough. There is plague, pestilence and fever aplenty. How can you attribute your good wife's malady to witchcraft?
I went to see a cunning woman.
You know we cannot have regard for what she may have said.
Hear me out, sirs, I beg you. I took her some hair and water, which she boiled up. She said there was no doubt of bewitchment, and she named the witch.
Oh, and she is?
Elizabeth Clark.
I know of her. Her mother was convicted of witchcraft, was she not?
She was, sir. Myself and Master Stearne and 2 other gentlemen confronted her with our thoughts. She laughed in our face and said she would not lift the curse on my wife.
Perhaps it was beyond her to do so. Perhaps she is no witch.
Sirs, this is the nub of it. She admitted to us that she was.
And you can all testify to this admission?
Not myself or Master Hopkins, sir. We were not present. I am here on a related matter. I suspect that at least 2 of my congregation are also in league with this Elizabeth Clark.
Stay, Master Eads. Let us examine this one matter at a time. In which manner did she confess to witchcraft?
She said she could live by no other means and that she met with other witches.
Oh, did she name them?
She would not. But this is where the Reverend Eads might help us.
It is well known in the parish that Elizabeth Clark has been long-time friends with Anne and Rebecca West.
Gentlemen, we may have some difficulty here. Anne West in Lawford was prosecuted by me at the last assizes for witchcraft and acquitted. We will need a strong case to justify a further trial.
Rebecca is but 15 years of age. I have spoken with her on occasion to advise her of her conduct. Both mother and daughter are disliked by many and are believed to have caused great hurt to another of my parishioners, Prudence Hart. Rebecca is, I believe, unsure of her situation and may prove to be useful.
What do you mean?
For all her evil bearing, she is simple, and I believe she will give evidence if she thinks that the authorities will be gentle with her.
We will give you written authority, Master Stearne, to examine and question Elizabeth Clark, and to inquire carefully into her association with others. Master Hopkins, you have been silent. What is your involvement in this matter?
Sirs, I strive to lead a godly life. I have been greatly disturbed by talk at my inn that has exposed these witches. Like Master Stearne, I believe we need to root out the evil amongst us, and by God's grace, I will help all I can in this inquiry. It may help that I have some knowledge of the law that may have been omitted in previous cases.
Very well. Master Stearne may use such assistance as is necessary.
May I ask, gentlemen, that you do not limit your authority to the taking of Elizabeth Clark? If she does indeed implicate others, it may be necessary to move quickly against them.
The point is well made. Master Stearne may examine such persons as he thinks proper in this inquiry.
Without realising it, Grimston and Bowes had just authorised the start of the most notorious witch hunt in English history.
Widow Clark, we're here at the authority of the magistrates to inquire further into your association with other witches.
Who are you to plague me?
I am Matthew Hopkins, and this is John...
I know who he is. You must think me a danger indeed to bring so much assistance. I ain't surprised to see that shrew, Goodwife Parsley, with you, neither. Well, a pox on you all. I've nothing to say.
You may not run so fast now, Widow Clark, but how well do you swim?
Stay, John. We may proceed to other methods.
What say ye? I'll not be treated thus. Begone. I've nothing to say.
You may have nothing to say now, but your body will tell us what your tongue will not. Search her diligently. The devil is cunning and hides his marks well. We will be outside.
You shan't search me, they shan't.
Up in from you,
Leave that.
Why should we not swim her? Think, John. It is a good test, but how will it appear to the court? A one-legged woman? No, if we rely on such a test, she may escape the gallows.
I have no doubt she is a witch. She confessed as much before. But she is in league with others.
That will not be enough. God will show us the truth of it.
She has cursed enough people.
Godly people do betimes forget themselves and curse. That is not the proof.
She has bewitched the constable's son to death. The infant was suffering fits and died within days.
But how will you prove it? If she is indeed in league with others, she may implicate one of them. No, John, the path is not to prove the threat, but to prove the pact with the devil himself. That is a charge that she will not find it so easy to escape.
I do not understand why the law puts so many obstacles in our way.
We are dealing with great things, John. You must be sure.
Master Hopkins, we have found the devil's marks.
What have you found?
We found 3 teats, sir, hidden in her secrets. 2 of them about half an inch long, and the 3rd rather bigger.
I've had them for years, Mary Parsley. They're natural. How do you know what's nature and what's not?
What say you to that, Goodwife Parsley?
Sir, both Goodwife Phillips and myself have brought many into this world, and we have seen the natural marks that some women may have. We are sure that these teats are unnatural and are the marks of a witch.
No.
There we have it. Are you prepared to watch her? Her familiars will surely come to suckle at some time.
Save yourself some discomfort and tell us who you meet with.
I meet with nobody. I've nothing to say.
It is Friday, Widow Clark. Is that not the day for your Sabbath? Others will be waiting. Only tell us who and where, and the court will take account of your assistance.
Enough! Prepare for the vigil. She is not to eat or drink. Be sure that she is awake to receive her imp.
Sent for me. What have you seen?
Nothing, sir. We've been watching for 2 days, but nothing. We've been talking, sir, and we are troubled that in an hour or 2 it will be the Sabbath. Are we to continue our vigil through the Sabbath?
You must. Surely there could be nothing more godly than the rooting out of Satan's evil.
Stay, Matthew. The Sabbath is to be spent in piety, charity, and mercy.
changed your song, man. What are you about? One moment you would have me swim her, the next you look to undo 2 days' work.
Matthew, you are more worldly than me, but I've been thinking on what you have said yourself and simply ask you to remember your own words. How would it appear to the court? Perhaps we should proceed slowly.
There is merit in what you say. Goodwife Phillips, you are right to ask. We will show the widow Clark the mercy that she has denied others. She is not to be left alone, but she is to be given bread and water. We shall continue the vigil on Monday.
Water.
Pleasure to see you, Master. Good morning, Master. I trust your work is going well.
Indeed, she has not confessed yet. But we hope to extract something in the new year.
That is good.
And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed, and brake it, and gave it to them, and said, Take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it. And he said unto them, This is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many. I will drink no more of the fruit of the vine until that day that I drink it new in the kingdom of God.
Has she confessed the names of others?
No, sir, nothing. I fear she is too stubborn for us.
I had hoped we would have better results by the end of the year.
It is still some hours until midnight, Edward. You know what is said. Say no ill of the year till it be past.
Widow Clark, you must see that we will have the truth. Why do you not unburden your soul?
You must know that you are damned indeed unless you truly repent.
Come, John. We will return tomorrow. Perhaps the new year will bring some fresh outlook from her.
Stay, gentlemen. If you'll do me no hurt, I'll show you my hips, for they'll be ready to come see.
The watchers will see them when they come.
Pray, Master Hopkins, you need fear not. They're not harm you.
But are you not afraid of such frightful things?
What? Do you think I'm afraid of my own children?
I'm glad that you are ready to tell us the truth now. Bess, we must know. Hath the devil had use of your body?
That is true.
And in what form does he come to you?
He was a tall, black-haired, proper gentleman. A proper gentleman than yourselves.
And who would you rather share a bed with?
The devil, of course.
And how long have you had carnal copulation with him?
6 or 7 years. He comes to my bedchamber in his lace collar, and he always says, Bess, I must lie with you. I never refuse him. Stay. The imps are about. I can hear them. Hold. Tomorrow.
We know that you meet with others. Tell us their names.
Anne Leach.
I knew it!
Hush, woman!
Our daughter, Ellen Clark.
And what of Anne West?
Yeah.
And her daughter Rebecca?
Yeah. Yes. Now leave me be. for I am spent.
What of your imps?
Oh, yes, yes, you should see them. My black beast, sack and sugar, is still at work. He'll be home soon. And then he'll tear you to pieces, Master Stearne, for wishing to have me swum.
Master Parsley, you and your good wife will remain here. We shall take your statements. The widow is allowed to sleep before she is taken before the magistrates in the morning.
Fine way to enter a house, Master Hopkins. The door was on the latch, as it always is.
You know us.
Of course we know of you. The village has talked of nothing else since you took up Elizabeth Clark.
A fine, brave man, Master Hopkins. The man who takes a team of 5 with him to arrest a one-legged woman in her dotage.
You do not seem surprised to see us here.
Elizabeth would be no match for your tortures. I expect she had little choice but to name her friends.
Her fellow witches, you
Her friends, I said, and her friends I mean. You will not force me to speak your words, Master Hopkins.
We shall see.
You have no writ here, Matthew Hopkins. You have no authority over me.
Take her.
Be gone and leave us in peace.
I have a warrant from the magistrates.
Naming me?
I may take up whoever is shown to be a witch. Master Hopkins is assisting with our work.
Your work? Your work? So fighting widows is your work, is it? You do the work of the parish well enough. They see an easy way to be rid of us. They know we have no men to support us. So much for us all being safe and having bread from the parish. This is your work, Master Stearne. Driving starving women to distraction.
Leave us be! We've done nothing!
When were you last in church, Rebecca?
You've spoken to that pompous rector.
When were you last in church, Rebecca?
Look at us. How can we attend church as we are? The folk don't want us there.
And why is that?
It's the same reason everyone else avoids us. For so-called Christians, they show us little enough charity when we are so in need.
They call us many things and wish us ill.
And do you wish them ill?
Never.
What of Prudence Hart? We have heard that you have long wished her ill. Now we have heard that you have gone further.
Prudence Hart is a vile, loathsome creature.
She, child, do you not see what he's done?
And what am I doing, Mistress West? Do you know my mind before I speak it? Note, Master Stearne, the unnatural ability confessed by Mistress West.
I shall say nothing more. You are here to trap us. We have done nothing wrong.
We shall see. No doubt some exercise will loosen your tongues. We know that if you have the devil's marks, you will feel no pain when they are pricked. Stay, not the child. She will be watched and taken before the magistrate.
Torturing of suspects was illegal, and so there is no official record of it.
Stop!
In his own book, Hopkins describes how a witch's marks feel no pain when pricked, so we may draw our own conclusions on how he arrived at that statement. Hopkins' techniques included walking suspects continuously until they were delirious.
She refused to give you the linen bonnet, and so she died. Yes?
She refused to give me the linen bonnet and she died.
Let us be sure of the other matter. You remember, when you were evicted from your house in Suffolk, what did you do to the new tenants?
I bewitched her and she died.
Yes, I wished ill of Mary Parsley.
We know that, Mistress Helen. You shouted into her house, didn't you?
Yes, Leave me be. I know not what I'm saying.
You know very well what you are saying. Now, what did you shout into Mary Parsley's house?
I need water.
You may have water when we are finished. What did you shout into Mary Parsley's house? She had a child there.
A girl. I told her the babe should roof rule.
And then the child died.
But that was not my doing.
And then the child died of your conjuration.
And then the child died of my country.
Oh, God, you! Oh, you!
After further examination by the magistrates, the suspects were committed for trial and held at Colchester Castle. Despite their confessions, Hopkins knew that he needed more evidence.
Master Hopkins, you must know the prisoners are to be kept close.
Do not tell me my business, Master Hoy. These wretched witches must be examined. It is our sacred duty to give them every opportunity to offer a full confession.
Well, I know nothing of that, Master Hopkins, but I do know witches is to be kept close. I have turned 2 of their kin away not 1 hour since.
Who were they? What did they want?
2 women. Said they were kin, bought food.
And did you give them the food?
Well, I've put it by. For them.
I do not doubt it. Are they shackled?
No, Master Hopkins.
I will speak with Mistress West.
I will make sure you're not disturbed, sir.
What do you take me for? Do you suppose that I will consort with one of the devil's own? Remove Rebecca West from the others.
Leave her be! You had your confessions. What do you want of her? She is an innocent maid. She's with...
Now move, woman. Be still. Get out of the way. You. Take her. Go on. Be still.
Lady West, you have been charged twice before for your witchcraft.
Aye, and acquitted twice by God's grace. Rebecca!
No, women.
Come back.
Hush.
Bring her back. She is an innocent maid. Rebecca!
I haven't done nothing. Let me be.
Rebecca, do you wish to save your soul?
I've nothing else to say to you, sir.
We all have secrets. It is time to make a full confession and purge your soul of sin.
Sir, I know not if I have already confessed. I fear that if I say more, that you will try to maze me.
Child, you are young, and I see that there is hope for you if you truly repent. But for the courts to believe that you are worth saving, you must hold nothing back.
I am but a maid. I know nothing of the courts. And until being watched, I knew nothing what I have done.
But now you do know what you have done. Now you do know that you have consorted with Satan. It is not surprising. Your mother was a witch before you. No doubt she persuaded you. Rebecca, I wish you to tell me everything about your first Sabbath.
Why should I do so? My life is forfeit. I will not say more. Let me be, sir. Leave me to rot as you no doubt intend.
I wish to save you. You know full well that your mother has twice before been acquitted of witchcraft. She will not do so a 3rd time. I cannot save her, but there is hope for you if you will testify before the court.
You expect me to speak against my mother?
Your mother is damned, Rebecca. You must see this. Her fate is sealed, but you have a choice. The court will understand that you could not refuse the will of your mother. Think on. You must see that this is your only hope of being spared the noose.
I do fear the rope. But it will be quick.
You do not have to face it. Speak, and you will be spared. I will tell the magistrate directly.
What will you have me say?
You must tell me how your mother persuaded you to meet with her and the others. Tell all, Rebecca.
It was last year. I was at work in the kitchen. My mother told me to be sure to finish my work by sunset, as she would take me to meet some people. As we walked, she charged me never to speak of what we were to see or hear. We met at Goody Clark's house with her, Anne Leach, and Helen Clark. Helen Clark asked my mother if I was prepared, and my mother nodded. Mother Clark used the book and repeated words out of it, as they all did whereupon demons in form of dogs and kittens appeared. Mother Clark then asked me if I would join them, and I said yes. I swore on their book that I would keep their secrets, even if the rope were about my neck and I were ready to be hanged. They told me what to say, and then I did then deny God and my Saviour Jesus Christ. No sooner had I promised this, and the devil, in the shape of a black dog, leaped into my lap and suckled me, promising that it would do for me what I could desire. That night, the devil appeared to me in the form of a handsome young man. He married me there and then. He lay with me and kissed me on the mouth with lips as cold as clay.
And did he perform nature on you?
He did.
And did he appear unto you again?
He did. He appears to me in different forms and does suck from me.
You must now return to your mother and the others. I will have your confession entered with the magistrates.
And what may I tell my mother? She is sure to do me hurt if she knows what I have spoken.
They will think that I have further questioned you, as I have. You must tell them that you have told me nothing more.
No.
In with her!
And furthermore, Rebecca West did tell me that Anne West did call upon her imp, and have it paralyze one Prudence Hart down one side of her body. This then happened 2 days later.
There is much work for you to do, Master Hopkins. We have today listened to some godly folk from Thorpley Soken. A widow Moon has been accused of causing the death of livestock and the murder of a child by witchcraft. We have today authorised her to be searched. Goodwife Norman and Goodwife Mills will accompany you.
We live in troubled times, sir. Satan has easy prey with our country divided.
I still pray God he will guide our king aright. I do desire you to be diligent in your questioning, Master Hopkins.
We consider it to be our service to the Lord, sir.
And so it is, Master Stearne. But I do entreat you to be careful with your methods.
We obey the law, Master Bowes.
No doubt. I hear that you keep them awake for 3 or 4 nights. Is that so?
It is only so much that their stubborn wills prevent them from sleep. When they are awake, they are more likely to call their familiars for help.
And what of swimming?
Sirs, there is good cause to regret that we may not use this method. When a witch covenants with the devil, she renounces her baptism. It is most certain that the waters will not receive her. However, we may not practice it. Of course, if others should choose to make their own test, we cannot stop that. However, we will not mention it in testimony.
His late Majesty was at least right in this matter. From what we hear of the intentions of the good folk from Thorpe, you may wish to delay your journey by, shall we say, half a day?
I understand.
Contrary to popular belief, the swimming of witches was banned, and if a witch had been swum, the fact could not be mentioned in court. There is no record of Margaret Moon being swum, but then there are very few records of them being tortured either.
We shall take charge now.
You will not take charge, sir. I am the constable of this parish.
And I am John Stearne, and this is Matthew Hopkins.
God be with you, sir.
I have the warrant of the county magistrate.
This warrant does not name this woman, sir.
Friend, this is no way to proceed. We share the same aim, to rid the world of witches.
A godly aim indeed, sir, and one that we are more than capable of doing ourselves.
Yes. Without trial? Where does that leave you, Constable? Come now. We have been sent by authorities to help you. With our assistance, things may proceed in the proper fashion.
And at a proper price, no doubt.
Who is this woman?
Her name's Margaret Moon. She's long been suspected of witchcraft.
Tree rogues! Who the devil sent for you?
I'm glad you know us. Take her.
Oh no!
You know well enough what to do.
Where will this end, Matthew? We have started something, have we not?
We have started a great work, John. Our reputation spreads. We have already received invitations from towns and villages in several counties.
And I feel that we are indeed doing good work. For the first time since the war started, I also know that I can be sure of bread.
Yes. It is only right that we should receive our expenses. And I shall see to it that every village knows the value of our skills.
We've found them, sir. She has 3 teats.
Where?
In her secret, sir. We believe they've been lately sucked.
They are piles! They are not piles, sir. I have them myself, and we know these are the devil's marks.
Widow Moon, you know who we are. We have experience in these matters. Think how to make things easier for yourself.
You must know that we will have the truth. Will you show us your imps?
Very well. But I must have some bread and some beer for them.
Fetch them. What are your imps' names?
I will not call them before I have their gifts.
What powers do they give you?
I may not say. They will not like it. Come Christ! Come Christ! Come Christ! Come Monsieur! Come Monsieur! Come Christ! Come. My imps! They have been stolen!
Imps may be stolen, Mistress.
It is my devilish daughters! Search them! Have them searched! They are not to me now!
You wish us to search your daughters for marks?
Yes! Yes!
Some of the accusations, as with Margaret Moon, were dragged up from neighbours' quarrels going back 20 years or more. Hopkins and Stearne's fees ran into pounds for each village or town.
We are
It is not surprising that it was the expense of the witchfinders that brought about their demise, as much as any moral outrage. Women were an easy target, but some men were also caught up in the hunt, including an unpopular vicar. Questions were already being asked about their methods, and they were no longer popular in the Colchester area. Word of the witchfinders soon spread. Many towns and villages took the opportunity to rid themselves of their difficult or troublesome residents. Hopkins and Stearne split into two teams and travelled into most of the counties in eastern England. They left behind them 33 women in Colchester Castle, all in one cell. Four of these unfortunate creatures died while awaiting trial. Hopkins and Stearne returned to Essex in August 1645. For the jailer, Stephen Hoy, and his assistants, it was a busy time. It was time for the assizes, the higher level court at Chelmsford.
All rise.
Bless you, good sirs, and find them guilty.
Elizabeth Clark, Anne West, Anne Leach, Helen Clark, Margaret Moo.
I've seen her cast many experiments.
She'd be a saintly woman. She helps people. She don't wish them no ill.
Elizabeth Clark, you are charged with bewitching the cattle, the property of Richard Edwards, and causing the murder by witchcraft of Richard Edwards' infant son. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Anne West, you are charged with bewitching Prudence Hart and causing her child to be stillborn. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Anne Leach, you are charged with assisting in the murder of Richard Edwards' infant son and consorting with the devil. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Helen Clark, you are charged with bewitching livestock and consorting with the devil. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Margaret Moon, you are charged with causing the death by witchcraft of the Cornwall child and consorting with the devil. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
And so the trial began. Notwithstanding their early confessions, all 29 women accused of witchcraft pleaded not guilty, thereby placing themselves, as the phrase goes, on the mercy of God and the country. None of the women had legal representation. The trials of that time bore little resemblance to the courts of today.
What is your name?
John Ribbett.
And who do you speak against?
Elizabeth Clark.
Tell us what you know of her.
I know her to be a bad-tempered, foul old woman who would as like spit at you as smile.
But Elizabeth Clark is not here accused of spitting.
No. 2 years since, Master Richard Edwards had 2 good cows die as they walked past her house.
Is Master Edwards to speak today?
He is, my lord.
Very well. Continue.
We had all been mazed and hazed by Widow Clark long enough. I and 3 others spoke to her, though we were feared as to what she might conjure against us.
What did you say to her?
I charged her with being a witch, and she did confess it before us all. She laughed in our faces and said she did meet with others for the same purpose.
Did she name the others?
She would not.
With 29 witches to try in one day, as well as some felons, each trial took less than half an hour.
What is your name?
Prudence Hart.
Tell us what you know of Anne West.
She has long been a witch. I've accused her before. She could turn milk sour just by looking at it.
There you have it. She has accused me before. How can this be right? She has long been mine enemy. Why do you listen to her?
Silence, silence. It is no matter that you have been accused before.
Tell us what happened in February last.
I was in church and 7 months with child. Rebecca and Anne West were giving me the evil eye. I had to leave church in the middle of the sermon. I fell to the ground with my belly on fire with pain. I was delivered of my child, stillborn, and I do believe that she caused this.
You are a stupid woman. Children are born so from time to time. To lay such a charge against a natural ill is folly indeed.
A stillborn child is God's choice, not ours.
And what are these evil looks? Do you deny that?
I do not have to smile upon all I meet. I do not choose to smile upon Prudence Hart.
Master Eads, can you corroborate the testimony of Prudence Hart?
Of course he will. He cares not for the poor of the parish, but the likes of Prudence Hart will have their souls cared for.
I pray daily for the soul of Anne West and her daughter. They rarely attend church, and when they do, there is much disquiet amongst the congregation. Prudence Hart is a regular churchgoer, and I mind well the day she was taken ill in church.
And was I present in church that day, Minister?
Well, Master Eads?
She was not.
So how can this be laid at my door?
Silence, be still!
My lord, it is well known that the devil's disciples may conjure their spirits when they will. I have no doubt of her influence in this.
Are there any other witnesses to be heard?
There are 2 gentlemen, my lord.
Let them be heard, and then we must stir ourselves.
Mr. Matthew Hopkins.
Will you tell his lordship of your involvement in this matter?
I speak first against Elizabeth Clark. On the last day of the year just past, I was with Master Stearne and others at the widow Clark's house. Your lordship has seen the signed witness statements of her confession. She bid us sit, for her imps were ready to appear. She called them one at a time. First, she called halt, and there did appear a white cat-like creature. Next, she called Jamara, and there did appear an imp like as to a dog, which was white with sandy spots and had very short legs, which henceforth disappeared before us.
She then called Vinegar Tom, and we saw something like a greyhound, with legs as long as a stag.
There were then imps, Pock in the Crown, Pyewacket,
Musil Mauser, and they appeared before us all. As to me in particular, the widow Clark shouted into my house that my baby girl should rue for all. The child then sickened, and within 6 weeks she was dead.
All of these women were watched, and in the fullness of time all confessed to grievous crimes. Anne Leach was known to have suspicious marks around her privates, and then did confess to the murdering of Richard Edwards' son by enchantment.
Rebecca West.
What is this? She is my daughter. You foul man. You would turn a daughter against her mother.
I fear, Widow West, that Master Hopkins has rather turned your daughter towards God, and should be thanked for it.
Mistress West, the court has read your confession that you were led to the devil by your mother. Is that true?
Yes. They took me over to Goody Clark's house. Goody Leach and Helen Clark were there also. There I was told, if I betrayed them, I'd endure more torments on earth than in hell. They read from their book, and I believe there was no goodness in it. And Goody Clark then did desire that Mr. Edwards would fall from his horse and never rise again. Helen desired a neighbour's pig to die. My mother did make an enchantment that I'll be freed of all my enemies, and that Prudence heart would be paralysed down her right side.
I see them, I knows it to be true.
Be still! Silence, be still!
Hang 'em on!
Who has commanded you to undertake these investigations, Master Hopkins?
No one, my lord. Master Stearne was commanded by the magistrates to examine Widow Clark, and I did help him with this. From this I saw that there was much more of the Lord's work to be done. She was the first, and from her confession came the beginning of our knowledge.
What have you to say to the evidence against you?
Be it any wonder that we did confess all? When a body's been forced to sit or stand for 3 days and 3 nights without sleep. I knew not what I said. Should they have said, "Is the moon blue?" I should have said yes. Our only crime is we ain't got no one to speak for us. We're widows, sir. We're not cunning women. We ain't got the tongue of Matthew Hopkins. We are just poor country folk.
I think more than that. Chairman of the jury, do you need to retire?
No, my lord.
What is your verdict?
All guilty as charged, my lord.
Elizabeth Clark, you will be hanged tomorrow here. Master Hopkins has said there is much more work of this kind to be done. The remainder of you will be turned to Manningtree and hanged there as an example to others. Bring on the next visit.
They be innocent. They be innocent.
As a father is tender towards his children, so is the Lord tender to those that fear him. For he knows of what we are made. He remembers that we are but dust. He flourishes like a flower of the field when the wind goes over it. It is gone, and its place will know it no more.
Ready for your final dance?
Where's your imps to protect you now, then?
Oh, very brave. May your guts rot inside you. May your children die in pain. May your...
She's gone.
She said the devil had never let her out.
Bring them forward.
I am the resurrection and the life, says the Lord. He who believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Therefore we pray that those who are about to die will even now renounce Satan and the dark arts. God of the living and the dead, cleanse, restore and heal us. Strengthen us against the powers that gather around us. Help us to resist the temptations that ensnare these miserable sinners, that we may know life eternal. Amen.
The long drop, resulting in a more humane death, was not a feature of 17th century justice. It was quite normal for hangings to result in a slow end by asphyxiation. When this happened, relatives would have the choice to speed the process by adding their weight, and it was this action that gives us the phrase hangers on.
Rest in peace.
After their hanging, the women were thrown without ceremony into a pit nearby. Rebecca West was never charged before a court, but remained in Colchester Castle cells until her accommodation charges had been paid. In May 1646, the First Civil War was over. Times were still unsettled. People remained troubled and restless, as no one knew what was to happen next. The eastern counties remained a fertile breeding ground for witch hunting. There were some that believed that however righteous the cause, it did not excuse unlawful acts that were often carried out by the witch hunters. In answer to these criticisms from people such as the judges at Norfolk, Matthew Hopkins wrote a manuscript defending his actions. In 1647, although ill with consumption, Hopkins organised the publication of his manuscript together with a print of himself between Elizabeth Clark and Rebecca West. The paper was headed Matthew Hopkins, Witchfinder General, a title by which he has been remembered ever since. By August, Hopkins had taken to his bed, racked with fever.
I have served my conscience, Lord. Bless me. I have destroyed evil for your sake. Forgive me for any sins if I have failed in my task. Let God be your judge, as he is mine.
Blessed be.
It is said that rarely has there been a man as wicked and depraved as Matthew Hopkins. His ghost is said to haunt parts of Mistler, and Elizabeth Clark's cries were once heard to echo over the Stour estuary. Let us hope that she and her friends now rest in peace.
Blessed be.